and welcome to Finextra. I'm Emily Haller at Cybos 2015 and I'm speaking to Richard Chapman from SunGard. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
So what are the key drivers for financial institutions in creating reconciliation centres of excellence, and how widespread is this practice today?
It's a good question. We've recently done some research into the challenges in setting up a reconciliation centre of excellence and also the benefits that banks perceive that they receive once they've done so. Probably the biggest driver for setting up a reconciliation centre of excellence is cost reduction, but it's interesting that the biggest pressure point on those centres of excellence is all being driven by regulation. So things like BCBS 239, BCBS 248 are now introducing new reconciliation types, but also more complexity into the reconciliation space around things like intraday, real-time, and additional audit and control points that are mandated throughout the reconciliation process. Having said that, about 70% or so of banks have already moved into a centre of excellence model for reconciliation, and of those that remain, most of them have a project in place to move to a reconciliation centre of excellence within about a 12 to 24 month time frame.
And so what challenges are there in setting up these centres?
There are probably three main challenges. I'd say the first is fragmentation, where even though organisations are looking to move to a centre of excellence, they probably have, at least on average, 4 or more independent reconciliation systems. Even where they have a strategic tool, you tend to find that they have different installations in different regions, often on different versions. What's more, they have different implementations, if you like, of the same product for the same reconciliation types. So there's a lack of consistency or best practice across the organisation. So we'll often work with organisations to help them create a technical blueprint that they can quickly consolidate their infrastructure and resources and business processes to get a quicker return on that move. The second challenge, I would say, is probably around the book of work itself. So just put simply, there's just a huge backlog of reconciliations that require automation driven by this regulation. On average, it takes about 65 days for banks to onboard a new reconciliation into a service, from requirement analysis through to go live. That's a long period of time. So SunGard works with our customers to use algorithms to automatically determine match rules based on the data that's presented to them, to try and shorten the requirement analysis phase, shorten the configuration, and then shorten the subsequent UAT. We also provide packages for common rec types, so things like cash and liquidity monitoring for BCBS 248 and Swift Accord replacements. The last challenge, I would say, is around data quality. So matching and reconciliation is relatively straightforward when you have unique identifiers that allow things to be compared very easily. Where those unique identifiers don't exist, it's extremely difficult to automate the matching process. And at high volumes, that can leave a huge amount of manual review work that needs to be performed, which is costly and error-prone. So we've been working with Intel, and in fact we released a white paper just very recently to come up with a new type of matching that allows us to iteratively run through different combinations of items looking for matches without unique identifiers. It's very difficult to do because there's potentially almost an unlimited number of calculations that need to be done in order to achieve sensible matching. But working with their engineers and our software architects, we're able to run calculations at a rate of more than 70 billion calculations per second. So using that kind of technology, we're able to increase the amount of auto matching even in poor data quality environments.
So what benefits are there in having a centre as a financial institution, and how can the model be taken further?
I mean, the immediate benefit is cost reduction. There's a huge economy of scale when you can collapse infrastructure, resources, business processes onto a single platform as a shared service across multiple lines of business. On average, we found that banks expected to save and did save over 20% on their operational costs through infrastructural consolidation alone. I think the future of these reconciliation centres of excellence is going to be how they can move their existing processes into a harmonised business process model that allows them to take that cost saving even further, and how they can look to optimise into the future by building in continuous process improvement into their overall process.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.